So this is an example of one of those systems. This system has a great deal of complexity to it, but at the same time, there's no randomness to it whatsoever. In this system, these circles are spinning, and each circle is spinning at a constant rate. There's no unpredictability to this whatsoever. Now, what's happening in this system is that each circle, they've been drawn in a spiral formation, a Fibonacci spiral. Each circle is spinning slightly slower than the one before it. Now, this system of doing motion graphics was explored extensively by a guy named John Whitney, and he called it incremental drift. Now, John Whitney is considered by many to be the father of computer animation. He developed motion control in the 1950s, and he developed some beautiful animated mandala movies, along with his brother James, on analog computing equipment that was originally developed in World War II to shoot down planes. This is a picture of John and his brother James in the lab. And I believe this was near Pasadena, actually. And they're working, this is probably somewhere around maybe 1956. Now, mostly, they use this equipment to make money. He animated the titles to the movie Vertigo. He developed a slit scan process that was used for a lot of special effects at that time. But in their small amount of spare time, they made some very interesting experimental movies. These are some stills from James's movie Lapis, which is very hard to see nowadays. It basically, you can see it occasionally in a museum, but it's hard to see. Now, John wrote a book called Digital Harmony, and he talked about this idea of incremental drift. Now, and this was a sample program from the back of the book, which came out in the early 80s. Now, in incremental drift, basically what's going on is you have a period of time, say 10 minutes, or actually, I think this one's 3 minutes. Now, that dot on the left is going to take 3 minutes to move all the way down to the bottom. The next dot over is going to move down twice in 3 minutes. The next one's going to move down 3 times in 3 minutes. So what you have here is a type of harmonic motion. It's very similar to harmonics on a guitar string. And Whitney recognized that and used a lot of ideas basically from music, basically from Pythagoras, in designing his motion graphics. This is the same system here. This is something I made called the Whitney Music Box. It takes John Whitney's incremental drift and converts it back to music by having each dot trigger a note as it crosses the line. One of the things that Whitney liked about incremental drift was that it was not static. There was a constant gathering and release of energy in the motion that you're seeing. Winding, unwinding. Right there you saw a three-pointed star. When you saw that three-pointed star, you heard a diminished chord. The musicians among you know that a diminished chord has notes that are 3 half steps apart. So that pattern goes on throughout. Right there you're hearing notes that are 5 half steps apart. The number of arms is the chord you're hearing. Okay, now that's the thing I really like about the Whitney Music Box, is it takes a piece of experimental music that would be very difficult for your ears to listen to, because ears don't like novelty as much as your eyes. You don't have as much oral circuitry. And it renders it a little bit more listenable because it allows you to predict when things are going to happen. This is called the Minute Waltz, 60 notes in 60 seconds. The largest dot takes 1 minute to go around. The smallest dot goes around once per second. halfway through. Okay, I promised I would bring you the music of the spheres. That wasn't it. You're it, okay? This is the hand-cranked version of the Whitney Music Box. Now, I have here a large knob. Turns the crank, see? You're going to make the sound. So here's how it works. All of you have a birth date. If you were born on the 27th, number 27. If you were born on the 1st, number 1, okay? Find your number. Raise your hand if you have your number. Okay, raise your hand if you can't read the numbers. Okay, we're good. I made them big enough. Excellent. Okay, when your number crosses the line in either direction, it's going to light up. Try to time it so that exactly at that point, you go pi. Like that, okay? Now let me hear everyone do it, okay? I want you to say pi, all right? 1, 2, 3. Pi. Oh, this is going to be good. Okay. Now, Mark, would you like to turn the crank? Okay, I'm going to give you a turn because I know you probably want to play the audience, right? Okay, so here we go. On your mark, get set, go. Faster. Pi. Go backwards. Pi. One more.
Okay, one more? Okay, sir.
Yeah. Pi. That's it.
Thanks.
That's it. Thank you.